Okay, I don't know what happened. It like stopped recording. And you know what? If I would have known that, I would have checked what the correct size is that I wanted, because I just ordered a family size of the Fidel that I like. And I was asking her, you know what? I think I want the regular, not the family. And she's like, well, let me check to see if they already made it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, no, you know what? Just leave it like that. That's fine. I'll just eat some tomorrow, because my son's working tomorrow anyway. I didn't tell her that part, but I'm telling you all. My son's working, and that way, that'll be my dinner for tomorrow also. I'll eat half today, half tomorrow. So it's all good. And it was only a few bucks more. So no big deal. Move forward. The person in front of me is like they've never been here before. They didn't know where to park. They didn't know to move forward like they're supposed to. I don't know what their deal is. I don't even know if I'm supposed to move forward now. The person in front of the person in front of me is parked way in the back, and they're supposed to move all the way forward. So because of them, they're holding up the line, and they don't tell them to move forward, even though they're supposed to. I don't know, like, some people are just so inconsiderate, you know? They're inconsiderate. They act like they have no self-awareness, and they do have it, but they just act like they don't, because they want to, like, push that envelope to see if they can, like, get away with something. Some people are just like that. I don't know why. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people going to the Olive Garden, and I miss the Olive Garden. I kind of wanted to go there for my birthday. And look, I'm going to show you all how everybody's going into the Olive Garden really quick. See? And there's someone in that truck, so. Oh, apparently they're already in. Okay, so let me back up. Okay. Yeah, I wanted to go to the Olive Garden for my birthday. And now there's this whole discussion with my husband. My birthday is coming up, and oh, how nice of you to finally leave. The car that was holding up everybody. Anyway, there's this whole discussion with my husband now that do you want to go to the beach so that you can start looking for a room for one night? And I'm like, I'll take it. One night, I'll take it, you know? However, and unfortunately, right now, for summer, the prices go rocket high at the beach. I mean, you will pay like $100 on top of whatever they charge just to get a room. So I told him it's going to be kind of expensive, you know, if we go. And he's like, I know. He's like, just look, let me know what you find. So there I was looking yesterday before the fireworks and all that. And the least expensive place that I found, and mind you, these are not luxurious hotels. These hotels have been there forever. And they don't all have the best service like they used to back then. And then plus, we've had some hurricanes that have washed some of the hotels away. So, anyhow, the one that I found that was close to the beach and what I would like also, it was $273 for the night. Now that is very costly. And I told him that is a lot of money. You know, we could use that money for bills instead, you know. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, how about if we just go for the day and come back? And I said, that's fine. That's fine with me. You know, I don't mind that. And I was like, but do I really want to go for just the day and then come back? You know, because we'll probably eat first and then go out to the beach, get all wet, and then have to come that way back. of course, change and all in their changing rooms, but I don't like going into their changing rooms. And then come back, right? And I was thinking, like, when I was blow drying my hair earlier, I was like, I'm gonna have to wash my hair again and then, blow dry it. Okay, I think this person is, okay, what is up with this person? This person's checking with everybody but me for my order. Okay, it's the car behind me. I don't know why mine is taking so long if I just wanted a plain potato and fideo. And she said they had already put the fideo in the container, so I don't know why it's taking so long. Anyway, so I was like, man, but I really wanted to go to the beach this year because every year my husband makes an excuse not to go to the beach. So I'm like, okay. And plus, you all, I ordered a bathing suit from Kohl's. They sent me a $5 like electronic gift card for my birthday. And I was like, hell yeah. So, and then they had 20% off of anything. So the bathing suit that I picked out, I was like, okay. It came out to like, I used the 20% off. Oh, hold on, y'all. Sí. Gracias. I don't know if the car behind me was waiting for me to leave or what. They never took off. Or maybe they just got half their order. So anyway, I used the 20% off, the $5 off that they gave me also. It came out to like $18 for the bathing suit. And it's really cute. It's got ruffles on top, your neckline and all. And I was like, yeah, like woohoo, it's destined for me to go to the beach. Well, now today my husband's like, you know what? I was thinking about the beach and how much it's gonna cost to go. And then I was like thinking, what if I make you a really big barbecue and then take you to Zales to buy that cross necklace that you wanted? And I'm like, well, first of all, a really big barbecue? What the hell does that mean? What is a really big barbecue? I said, because I don't want anybody over. I don't want to have to clean up on my birthday. Sir, what are you going to do? Are you going to turn left or... Oh my God. I'm going for it. So, anyhow, I said, I don't want to be cleaning up. I don't want to have people over and then, having to clean up, having to make something, like I made rice and beans yesterday and potato salad to take over to my son's for us to eat. And I was like, I don't want to have to make food. And then the dishes afterwards. Are you kidding me? It's my birthday. Like, I want to relax. I want to celebrate. I want to be waited on for just that day. You weren't even here for Mother's Day. I didn't get waited on Mother's Day, Yeah, we ordered food, but okay, I still have to like go get it and all, So anyway, I was like, no. And then secondly, when did I want a necklace from Zales? Like, I never mentioned, I said I wanted a cross necklace, but I never said from Zales. Like, you get to pick out where I'm going to get it at too, like what's up with that, And I saw one that I really, really liked at James Avery. I just don't remember how much it is. And I said, forget it, because it's really expensive. It's got a heart on one side, and then it's got a cross right on the bottom. However, yeah, I think it was like really expensive, so I said forget it. And then I was like, you know, if he has to buy this food for the big barbecue and then the cross, which you know it's going to be like $100 and some dollars, that's already $2 something right there. And instead of just staying home and waiting on people like a slave as usual, I could be at the damn beach. You know, I could be at the damn beach laying down on the sand enjoying myself, and then have a lovely dinner after. You know, we can pick up McDonald's for breakfast, or we can just eat at home and then go. But yeah, I would rather just do that. And then I mentioned, oh, there was a commercial. No, not a commercial. They were talking something on Spectrum News about a ranch where they have like a whole bunch of rescues, and you can stay there. I think it's called Blue Ranch or something like that. It's here in Texas. I asked my husband where exactly it was, and he said it was near Corpus. And I said, well, they have giraffes, they have zebras, they have ostriches, and many more animals, horses. And they come up to you and depend on you to feed them. You know, of course, you buy the food to feed them, I guess. But they were raised to be fed by people. You know, so they're pets. They're very friendly. You know, you don't have to worry about, oh, one of them is going to snap at you. You know, and you're able. It's a hotel. You're able to stay there. And I saw one of the reviews where this lady said, like, she woke up in the morning and the giraffes are already outside waiting for her. And I thought, oh, I love that, you know? And I told him about that. Okay. So I told him about that, and he's like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, you know? However, I don't know if it's a minimum of a 2-night stay. So that's out of the question for him. He don't want to be out for 2 nights. Okay? Just one night. I only get one night. My birthday is one day, not 2. So I'm like, okay, that's off the table. And he don't even know about that yet. I have to tell him about that. So I'm like, forget it. That's off the table. Because I saw reviews where people were saying it's a minimum of a 2-night stay. Some of them just got 1 night, and then they're like, they didn't get a refund. They kept the money, and so it's not a good deal. And then I said, well, you know what? My son's girlfriend's grandparents took the kids' grandparents took the kids to some Snake Island, Snake Lake, Snake River, someplace in San Antonio. And they didn't have to leave the hotel for nothing. There's like a wraparound little pool area, like, I don't know what you call it, you know, when they can go on the rafts. And there's restaurants in there, and I don't know what else the hell they have, you know. But apparently it's pretty cool. So I'm like, hey, you know, and I've been wanting to go to San Antonio. And that the hotel stay, it's not a minimum of 2 nights. It can go for 1 night, and it is about the same price as the one at the beach. And I'm thinking, okay, well then we don't have to get sand all over ourselves. We're able to stay there. We can go just on that little lake and stuff that they have with our tubes. And, you know, and we can eat there and just walk around. And it'll be great. It'll be real relaxing, right? But then I go back to the beach. And I'm like, but what about my beach? Like, I want my beach. I want to be at the beach. I want to see people in bikinis, men and women. I want to see children playing, running amok everywhere. Like, I want to see families. I want to see people. I don't see any people here. Well, no, I take it back. I do see people here, but it's people that I don't want to see. But you know what I mean? You all know what I mean, right? Look, Five Below. You really disappointed me with this sun visor, and I need you to stay put. Okay? At least give me my $5 worth. So anyhow, but we're back to square one. $273. What is that? My son needs to be careful. Ugh. He gets... I don't know how he did that. Anyhow. And by the way, you all, my ex-coworker, there's this little teeny weeny scratch here now. What the hell? My ex-coworker who helped get me this car, I texted him twice. The first time it was the bank related, because I got a letter from the bank that financed me that was offering to lower my payment. And I was like, what? He told me that we couldn't do that, you know? So he never answered me. I ended up having to go to the dealership on Thursday. And I'm glad I went on Thursday, because it was already like, there was a lot of traffic through there. And I was like, it's not even the 4th of July till tomorrow, you know? So anyway, I went and I ran right into him. And he was on his phone. And I'm like, really? Like, don't you just hate that, you all? Like, you text a person that's always on their phone, and yet they don't answer you. And that's like, tell me you don't want to talk to me without telling me, you know? And so I was like, hey. And he was like, oh, hey, what's going on? What happened? What are you doing here? And I was like, well, you never answered my text, so I had to come in person. Well, what? I did answer you. Didn't you get it? I said, no. And I looked right at him, and I'm like, come on now. So I said, no, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm going to talk to finance. About what? About what? I said, I just need to talk to finance, okay? I got this letter from the bank. I need to talk to finance. And so I went, and I got in there, and he's trying to help me out. He's like, well, they're in a meeting right now, you know. And I'm like, just calm down, you know, like, I'm going to talk to finance. I got to talk to finance, and they're like, well, the deal's already funded. And she's like, that's between you and the bank now. Like, there's nothing I can do here. Like, my only thing was to put in your app, get you approved. I got you approved. It's a done deal. And I was like, all right. And then I asked about my other car. She's like, oh, it already sold. And I'm like, how the fuck would you know that? You know, you wouldn't know that. Like, come on now. You know, I used to work at the dealership. They're not gonna come tell finance. Oh, you know that customer? She didn't even recognize me to begin with. And I'm like, they're not gonna come and tell you. Oh, yeah, Moon. You know that customer Moon with the 2019 Buick Encore? It's sold already. Like, what the hell are these people thinking? Do they think I'm stupid? I'm not, but whatever. And then I told her, oh, you know what? Before I leave, you know, you remind me of Selma Hayek. And she's like, Selma Hayek, she's ugly. And I'm like, no, she's not. Yeah, she is. She's like, you really think I look like her? Because she has that real strong Spanish accent, you know? And I was like, yeah, but when she was younger, not now that she's older. And she's like, that's what you think I look like? She pulled her up on the computer. And I was like, I said when she was younger, not older. I said, look, if you don't want to look like her, don't look like her. I'll look like her then. And she's laughing, and she's like, I think you're just telling me that because you wanted me to give you some good news or something. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. I said, well, you have a happy 4th of July. She was getting on my last nerve. Like, I was losing patience with her. And then she's sitting there, and she's like, like, what the hell's going on? And I look outside the door. I'm like, what the help somebody, you know, 911. She was laughing, and I'm like, what the hell are you laughing at? You know, I'm looking and giving her this look. What the fuck are you laughing at? And she's like, oh, is this the way you came in here? Really concerned. And I'm like, you didn't even recognize me, so how did you even know how I look when I came in here? And I was like, oh, all right, well, you have a safe holiday. And I just like walked out, and she's still there like with her mouth open and laughing. I'm like, this bitch is crazy. Sorry you all for the curse words, the cursey words, as Emily Baker says, right? That's her name, Emily Baker. Anyway, so I left. I called the bank, and the bank's like, what? You got what? What letter? Wait, when did you get that letter? Like, oh, well, your deal is funded. Yeah, I don't know what letter you're talking about. I said, it's from you. It's dated this date. It says your letterhead on the top. It's addressed to me by name, you know, first and last, and it came to my address. Well, I just, excuse me, and what does this letter say again? It says that you are making me an offer to lower my payment, and by extending it for this much longer, by extending the loan this much longer, and then my payment would be lowered to this much. Well, I don't have a copy of that in my system, so I'm not sure what department that came from. But as far as, you know, everything in the contracts, it's already done. All right, well, you have a safe holiday. Thank you for the no help at all. You know, I wanted to tell them that part, but I didn't. I just held it back. And I was like, I'll see you. Okay, bye. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with these people? Do they not know what the hell they're doing? Like, if that's the case, then put me in their job. I'm pretty sure I could handle it. I'm forgetful, and I'm always like scatterbrain and squirrel brain. I'll be just fine, and I'll be making what they make, you know? But anyhow, let me repeat really quick what my counselor said, because that way I don't have to like upload 2 different videos, because I don't even know how I cut myself off of the other one. Is this still recording? Yes. Okay. I'm moving you all to the shade. Trying not to get myself. I'll probably get myself right there. Okay. So my counselor, I went to go see her, and she kept me there a little longer than an hour this time. And I was really surprised that she did that. But I keep feeling like you all can see me right there. But basically what she said was that grieving comes in waves, and that's what I'm experiencing, and that it's okay. There's going to be a time where I'm not going to grieve. I'm not even going to think about my mom or dad, and I'm going to be good. And then all of a sudden, you know, the next month it might hit me again. And she's like, that's totally normal, and it's perfectly normal, and it's okay for you to grieve. There's nothing wrong with you. And then I told her about my breathing, as I explained in a video, on how I try to control myself by breathing and not breathing, right? And I hold my breath until I can't breathe anymore, and then I'll remember I need to breathe, and I'll release it and then breathe in again. And anytime I talk about it, I end up doing it. But it was a way of myself to control my emotions. And I didn't even get to tell her about the other part, you know, that I did when I was younger, where, you know, where you take something and you, with your arm, and my husband is calling me. I hope that's not interrupting the recording, because I'm going to finish. We'll see. Let's see. Can you please hang up, husband? I will call you back, husband. Husband, I'm not answering. Hang up. Oh, for the love of God. How long does my phone ring? recording. Okay, there you go. So, I was telling her about that part, and then she was like, not only are you trying to control your emotions, but you're suppressing them. So you're doing two things by doing that. And I was like, you know, you're right. And she's like, what I want you to do is to start journaling these episodes that you're having where you like, well, not episodes. She's like, let me correct myself. Whenever you hold your breath, I want you to journal. Today I held my breath for this long at this time because I was feeling this emotion. Because I did go and explain to her on how after I drop my son off at work and I come back to the apartment and I find myself alone, I start to feel like these emotions of loneliness or depressed or anxiety or fear, you know, it's, or grieving. It's different emotions that I'll feel at different times, and sometimes it's all of them all at once. And she's like, okay, so I want you to start writing it down for how long you held your breath and what emotions, all of them, list all of them if there's many, or just one if there's only one. And I said, okay, that's a good idea. And then she said, and then I want you to, whenever you start feeling like, let's say you feel fearful, I want you to start, like right now it's 4:09. She's like, I want you to write that down, 4:09, and then I want you to write fearful. That's what you were feeling. And then I want you to set your timer for 30 minutes. After the timer goes off, that's it. You're done feeling that way. And now you can put that aside. You can like, okay, I felt that way. I gave myself 30 minutes to feel this way. Now I can move on. So she's like, I want you to do that for me, and the next time we see each other, I want to see that journal because I'm going to help you get through this. And I was like, okay, thank you so much. And it made so much sense. And I'm really excited to start it because I do want to get rid of this. I don't want to suppress my emotions to the point where I'm going to like explode one day, you know? And I don't do it on purpose by any means. It's just something that I've been doing for many, many years. So, I mean, that's an idea out there that I'm going to try. And for anybody else that's going through something like that, you know, hey, try it also. Because not everybody can afford counseling. I'm very grateful that we can, you know, because of our insurance. But there was a time that I couldn't afford counseling. And for a very long time, you know, and that is how I came up with this. Okay, if I can't afford counseling, I can't afford to talk to anybody, I'm gonna have to find a way how to deal with this on my own, myself. And that's when I started the breathing and not breathing. So I hope that helps out. And by the way, you all, I'm gonna use this next song. You can see me. Woo, I look crazy. I'm gonna use this next song in my next moon video if I see the moon again. So anyway, I love you all. You all enjoy your Saturday. I went a little bit over than 20 minutes today, but I wanted to get this out. So enjoy your Saturday. Pray for those girls that are missing, by the way, please. It's so heart-wrenching that something so tragic like this happened here in Texas. And they found a couple of the girls, but they don't know where the rest of them are. And I just pray that they're found. You know, that's what I'm praying for, that they're found safe and be able to come back home. And thank God for rescuing the ones that he got to rescue and the people that they got to rescue along with their pets. I saw a video of people getting in the truck and they thought about their pets. So they didn't leave them behind. So yeah, like, bless those people, you know. And it's just so weird that last night we were enjoying the night and the fireworks, and then you hear something like this happening. And so yeah, just keep our nation still in prayer, and people that are going through these horrific tragedies. you know, and like I said, enjoy your Saturday. Lots of hugs, loves, and prayers. I'm gonna go enjoy my dinner.